No, it's not Brittany Broski. It's me, Lawrence Chaney. Cue the Lady Gaga Stupid Love Trixie music. Hey everyone, I'm Lawrence Chaney, and for those of you that don't know me, I'm from RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 2. I even won that show, and I've got a crown to prove it. It's on my back tooth. I'm this week's guest host, and I'm thrilled to be on this channel because finally people are going to be watching my drag, and maybe some of you will be interested. Now, just a warning to those of you that don't know me, turn the closed captions on now, because without those, you Americans and everyone around the world, you're going to be lost, dazed and confused with this accent. Put on the subtitles now! Thanks. So basically, I love wearing purple. I'm like Violet Chachki but fat. I'm Violet Fatchki. So I'm gonna give you my quintessential Lawrence Chaney makeup, but I'm gonna try some brand new products, and then I'm gonna show you some old faithful products, and I mean old faithful. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So first step is going to be blocking down the brows. No purple glue stick required. Now I'm gonna tame this hair. Okay. I used to do makeup videos on YouTube during my season. My season came out in 2021. I had no money. So being here in Trixie's studio with all this lighting and a microphone, I feel rich. I mean, she is spreading the wealth right now. Let me get this mirror. Okay, so basically my first step in my makeup routine is a bit odd. I always start with drawing my eyebrows first because I think they frame the face and they're really important. I think they're the most important part of the process. But today I'm trying a new product for my eyebrows. Like I told you, I'm doing a purple glamazon look, quintessential Lawrence Chaney. So I'm trying out a Trixie Cosmetics product for my brows. Oh my God, I'm gonna be an MUA, guys. I'm trying out the Trixie Cosmetics Matte Liquid Pigment in the color Ringleader. Yeah, I'm an MUA. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not teaching anyone here anything. I just want you to see my makeup process and you'll probably realize not to follow any of my steps. Swatch it, not swatch, I'm gonna swatch it. Also, I'm not giving you any of this with I'm using a flat angle brush. I don't know the difference. It's an angled brush for brows. Slathering the product on. Again, this is why I do it first. I do like a messy trace out, and then we go in and make it look sexy afterwards. Okay, they're not awful. Again, the aim of this is not symmetry, because our faces aren't symmetrical. That's my excuse. Okay, now I am filling in the brows. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This liquid pigment, this is so good for brows, especially if you have like odd colored eyebrows, like that aren't like brown or blonde. Bitch, this is so good. That's good for now. I'm now going to conceal around these eyebrows to make them look better. I'm gonna add an ombre effect in here so they don't look so busted. And for that, a lot of people would use Anastasia Beverly Hills, but I'm cheap and I won no money when I won RuPaul's Drag Race UK. I won badges and a digital series available on Wow Presents Plus. For my kind of foundation and concealer, I use a foundation from Primark or Primark in the UK. It's this cheap shop if you don't happen to be from the UK. Or Boston. I know there is a Primark in Boston. It's a foundation stick and they're amazing. I'm not gonna lie, these are like £2.50. See, I'm saying pounds. These are like £2.50 and I swear by them. I cannot get enough of them. I use them for every face of mine, I tell you. Let me just prove to you that it's sexy. Okay, so I'm gonna slather it on this brush. I'm so unglamorous when describing how I do my makeup. I'm gonna slather this on like a prostitute. In fact, I tell you what, first of all, we're getting rid of this monobrow. Just break those eyebrows up. Oh, it! I can't take the pressure. It's been 5 minutes. Day 3 in the Big Brother house. Lawrence is still doing her eyebrows. Oh yeah, fucking Also, I'm Scottish and I don't think any of you should swear, but it's part of my cultural heritage to swear. So it's actually really rude if you tell me to not swear. So you can fuck off, suck a cock, lick a fuck you. Fill in the forehead. Also, I know this looks weird. I start from the top of my face downward. I like doing it in sections because I think if you do your whole foundation and then set it, you have creases in place. You don't need to set a crease. So as soon as you blend it, just set it. That's what I think. Oh, I am gassy, I'm sorry. Now, whenever doing my foundation, I always use 3 beauty blenders. I use one for the base, the foundation color. I use one for my contour color. And then I use a smaller one still for my contour, but to get in all the nooks and crannies. I'm gonna blend this all together. I'm gonna make these eyebrows into ombre eyebrows. I'm gonna take the small beauty blender and blend that into each other. I see people do ombre eyebrows with like how they draw the brows on with like brush strokes. I think that's just a waste of time, quite frankly. So yeah, I just blend it. I'm gonna move on by contouring my forehead. I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Cream Kit. Basically, I got this for free when I was on Drag Race, and it's still the same palette. It does last you a while, but when I tell you, it has been to war. Look! To contour my forehead, I'm gonna take some of that and I'm gonna put it there. I'm describing this really well. Listen, this is the thing. Drag queens were glamorous creatures, but not everything about our lives is glamorous, okay? Most of it's really unglamorous. If this camera zoomed out and you saw the state of the pants I'm wearing, the underpants I'm wearing, girl. So I'm just dabbing this all around my temples. Take this, the smaller-ish beauty blender for my contour. I'm gonna blend this in. I gotta say, I was on Drag Race in 2021, but ever since then, I have had just so much fun touring and performing. But most recently, in May 2023, I moved to Las Vegas to perform in RuPaul's Drag Race Live, the live show of RuPaul's Drag Race. And that is amazing. And it has definitely taught me a lot about how to keep my makeup on and how to do my makeup in a hurry. So what you're seeing now is my kind of quintessential face that I would do for RuPaul's Drag Race Live. Now my forehead is complete. I'm gonna set it with the Coty Airspun Coty. Listen, the brand that all the fucking drag queens use, alright? I gotta say, this product's really fierce so far because it like sets on its own, which means it's not gonna smudge, especially when you're like concealing around it, especially when you're using like bright and bold colors. It can like smudge into things, but it blended really well. The whole reason I set this, by the way, and the whole reason I do this part as well, is when I do the white under here, I want that to be a really sharp line. And I want you to be able to tell this is my fair skin and this is bright white. I gotta tell you, I reordered my white foundation that I do for my highlight. Like I said, I live in Las Vegas right now and it has arrived melted. It is full on Melton John. That's meant to be a stick. How the f***? Oh, you bastard. Did the whole thing melt? Do you have a hammer? Bitch. Thank f***. It was all melted shut. I learnt how to do my makeup by watching Miss Fame's YouTube videos back in like 2014, 2015. And she always swore by the Krylon TV paint stick. But for me, I don't know, it's really hard to like put on my face. So I like the Miron, especially when it's melted. There's just a certain je ne sais quoi. Now I'm gonna carve under my brows to fully shape them using this white. See, we're getting there. So everyone gets so shocked, you know, everyone's like, excuse me, I can't believe I farted or I burped. I'm like, we all do it. Why are we acting like we don't? It's like, I will never forget, I told Kennedy Davenport once about how I myself one time, and she said, girl, you're acting like that's normal. And I went, for me it is. Okay, now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm gonna finger this. And when fingering, it's important that you ask for consent. Sometimes nothing beats a cheeky finger. And now I'm gonna blend a bit of it out. Yeah, they're not awful. Okay, Again, like I told you, I get crazy about creasing and like lines and stuff. There's no point in doing all this makeup to still have the same creases you do when you don't have makeup. Now I'm gonna set my eyelids with a Krylon translucent powder. Dust it off like the haters. Okay. Now I'm gonna do my nose. So everyone always reads me because my nose is very dramatic. Someone even went as far to say as I looked like Magnolia Crawford, for which I will personally hunt you down and kill you like Liam Neeson in Taken. But I do like a very snatched, cinched nose. Nothing about my makeup is natural, so I'm just gonna layer some more of that lovely, gorgeous Primark foundation on. Blend it, blend it, blend it, blend it. And this is important. I always go kind of lighter in here because we want to merge all the work we've just done to that. We want to merge it seamlessly. I'm gonna use the same contour shade from the same busted Anastasia palette to get in the corners to make a nice little curve. I like using the same sort of style of brush I use for my brows. Here we go. I want to look like Joan Rivers after her 700th nose job. I'm going to take more product on this brush. This, I feel, because of the shape of this brush and the flat angle of it, it just helps draw a straighter line. Ish. Again, I'm trying to feminize the nose. Is it just me as well? I'm always one of these people, whenever I do my own makeup, I'm always like this. Like right up in the f***ing mirror. Do you know what I mean? That looks kind of good. Now, I'm going to blend it out with my little baby beauty blender. It just gets in all the nooks and crannies. You know the hardest thing since coming to America is the difference in language. I think it's crazy that we both speak English in the UK and in America, but there is differences in the language. You know, an elevator here is a lift in the UK. And then like in Scotland, we have like slang, like an undesirable person is like a BAM, whereas a BAM here is Alexis Mateo. So it basically means the same thing. This is educational, all right? So many Americans, God bless you all. I love you. You have welcomed me under your arms. But so many Americans come up to me and they say, I'm 4% Scotch. And I go, are you a drink? What? So confusing. I remember one time at a castle me and my auntie always go to in Scotland called Stirling Castle. There's obviously tourism's very big in Scotland because like I guess there's a lot of rich history. One of my favourite moments, I mean this is pretty sad that this is a memorable moment for me, was an American tourist was looking around this like dilapidated castle. Like this castle looked like my prolapse on this stool, caving in on itself. But you know, they have to modernize it with like a neon exit sign and all these kind of modernizations. And in the corner was a fire extinguisher. And this woman turns to her husband and goes, oh my God, gee, look over there. It's Mary Queen of Scots fire extinguisher. And that, America, is when I lost all faith in you. 8-year-old Lawrence was shook. I guess like everyone in America is like from somewhere. They're like part Swedish. Cue the Trixie impression. Swedish people. I just think it's funny that people are like, oh my God, I'm 80% Scotch. And it sounds like they're talking about an alcohol. You know how Trixie did Trixie Motel? I want to do some like that, but in Scotland with a castle. National Trust, if you want me to invest my Rue Peter badges in your castle, call me. Enough of that, I'm gonna set this nose. Just to make it easier for me to blend this, I'm only going to set the top bridge of the nose so it doesn't crack or create any lines here. Right, here we go. That's it! Now, this is when it gets a bit crazy. This is when the caption pops up and says, now it gets crazy. For my foundation, I use a mixture of that Primark foundation stick, and I have been getting into, I guess it's the American in me now, I am getting into Dermablend. I know it's only meant to be used for like covering tattoos or like it's just body makeup. It is some strong, heavy duty shit. And also I kind of like having a wet foundation. I'm gonna lather this on. Again, I'm gonna start in a really weird place. I'm gonna do my neck because it needs a lot of help. You know, someone tagged me on Instagram the other day in a picture from me at RuPaul's Drag Race Live in Vegas. And they said, oh, Lawrence looks sad. Keep your chin up, Lawrence. All two of them. Fat phobia's rife. And that's how Trixie booked me for the video. See what I mean? The Dermablend's just turning it. And then, because I'm going to show some chest, I'm just going to use some of that mirror on white. I'm going to put it here. Because I'm so pale, every foundation shade is darker than me. I'm like translucent, so I always just use the white to make it more seamless. All right, everyone, I think myself something of a thumb. So to give me a jawline, I'm going to use, again, this brush. I'm going to use my contour color and I'm just going to cut here. Now I do it quite harsh, like quite a harsh line, but I only do it to about here. That's where the most shadow is on me. There's a lot of meat there, casting shadow. Gonna use this to blend. Now I'm gonna set that. You want to tickle those vocal cords. That's what I tell my boyfriend anyway. I'm gonna put my highlight first, the same mirror on. There, maybe a bit more there. Take a bit of that stick. There. And now they're done my blend. Honestly, this eats ass. Now, again, see I left, this is the most wrinkly part. Get some of that out of there, yeah. Now I'm gonna contour my cheeks. Same method. I used to get bullied for doing like the sharp contour. So naturally I caved to the pressure and now I blend my whole cheek. Again, I don't mind smearing it on literally because you're gonna blend it. And blend. The cheek, the nerve, the audacity, the gall, the gumption. Now I'm taking my foundation beauty blender. I'm just gonna pat here. And this takes a little bit of time. But see, this is better than that. Take notes, Trixie. I've got to tell you about the first time I ever met Trixie Mattel because it's a really embarrassing story. So naturally, I should bring it up on her channel. So I was always a very, very big fan of Trixie. As soon as she was announced on season 7, I was obsessed. The makeup was so cool. I'd never seen a drag queen with makeup like that. And truly, I just was so fascinated by her. So I remember I used to like practice her makeup, and when I just turned 18, I went to the club. I remember it was like February 2015. She'd just been eliminated the first time, and she came to Glasgow in a little club called AXM, and I dressed up as her. She did like a white dress with her face on the bottom fishtail part, and I recreated that outfit. And I guess I was maybe one of the first people to do her makeup, so she was like really gagged. And I remember she was so nice. She took me backstage, well, behind the curtain in this tiny small club in Glasgow, and she was so sweet. But I was obviously so starstruck because I was like, this is someone from television. Okay, maybe not television, I was pirating the episodes back then, but from the laptop. All I could think of, I was so nervous, so excited. And she was like, so what's your name? Blah, 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 blah. I don't know what came over me. She was holding my shoulders and I held her hips and I went, I love your pads. And she went, right. So embarrassing. But she was a sweetheart. Not a moment I'm proud of, but I have grown. Look at me, I'm in her studio and I've not stolen many things. Now I'm gonna set this. But that is truly the magic of Drag Race. I don't know a single other TV show that you can be a super fan of it and then get on that TV show and then go on to win it. I just think it's crazy that like I won Drag Race and I'm the biggest fan of Drag Race. It's crazy. Dust it off. I love it. I came on here to basically subtly promote my merchandise and I have covered it in powder. Good idea, Lawrence. That is the base done. Now I do a rather random thing. I'm going to draw my moles on and then I'm going to draw the outline of my lip, and I only like doing that so that I start to get a feel to the proportion. So I just like outlining everything first and then filling it in. And if you'd like to fill me in, call the number on screen now. I'm going to draw my moles on. I don't use eyeliner. I do the ginger minge thing and I use a Sharpie in shade Fine Point. It's French. You want to know why I started using a Sharpie to do the moles and why I drew moles on my face? I believed when I was younger and I would rush to do a gig, I believed little things like this would make it look like I spent longer doing my makeup, even though it's a quick and easy thing. It just fills up more space and adds detail and dimension, I guess. One here. Oh, fuck me, that's tiny. Wait. 2 there, because Lady Gaga has 2 moles there. On there. I will never forget when I was on Drag Race. Someone went up to me and they said, got something on your face there. And I went, yeah, it's intentional. Okay, now I'm using the Kiko Milano long-lasting lip marker. It's a Sharpie of the lips, and it's in pink, and it is on death's door. I mean, it is more foundation than pink, but here we go. Okay, like I said, just the outline. It looked like I just had filler. Hello, would you like to my hair? I could do a great impression of a hot dog. Okay, now is the piss de resistance. I'm going to use the NYX Epic Ink eyeliner, and I'm going to draw the outline of my eye shape, and I'm tracing the crease and all. Now I'm going to repeat that on the other eye. As you can see, I have traced my eye shape. I'm going to use a mix of eyeshadows from the Trixie Cosmetics Girl Talk. It has some gorgeous lilacs and lavenders. And I'm going to use this palette, which none of you can see because I filmed a television show and I had to cover all the logos. This is the Be Perfect Cosmetics Carnival palette. Now, Be Perfect is an Irish company, and I love that there's an Irish makeup company that's really kind of queer and does nice, big, bold colors. As you can see, I have been loving it. And as you can see, the 2 main colors I use are the purple and the black. Before we do anything else, I'm gonna lay some powder to catch any fallout. Firstly, I know this sounds crazy because all the other MUAs tell you to do it a different way. I always go in my crease first with black and then lay over the top the color. I know you're meant to work light to dark, but for me, I don't notice much of a difference, but maybe you will with these 4K cameras. Again, this can be messy. This tracing is it's just an initial attempt. Now I'm gonna take this sort of tight, fluffy, another brush, and I'm gonna take that dark purple shade. Yeah, the one that's almost hit pan. And see, I'm gonna pat it on top here. Again, I'm only using a small amount. And also, I have changed my makeup a lot since being on Drag Race. I never realized until Raven pointed it out on my season that I do these really high arched brows and I don't always fill in the space. Like, there used to be a lot of white and I used to look like I was about to cry. And then I infamously said to her, oh, so I'm painting the depression on. And now I'm not painting the depression on. I'm just depressed. So now I do this floating crease moment. And I guess because I have like downturned kind of hooded eyes, I need something to help bring it up. Can you believe I filmed my season during COVID? We were the only season to film our season in 2 parts. We filmed 1 part before the pandemic. Obviously, you're not allowed your phones at Drag Race. You're kind of cut off from the outside world. From what I knew before I went to Drag Race, COVID was but a cough on the other side of the world. And when they told us about it, I thought it was gonna be some World War Z Zombieland shit. I mean, I thought there'd be planes and helicopters all about the place and zombies going about crazy. And that was just Glasgow. I gained so much weight during COVID and I had no money. Everyone who was an entertainer, some part of their income or revenue stream was cut. So it was really hard. I think that's why I'm so appreciative of all the things I have today. I'm just a drag queen from a small place in Scotland and I cannot believe I'm in Los Angeles and I get to do such cool things. It's really amazing. I don't know why I went so deep there. I apologize. You're a c***. There, see? We're back to it. See, I couldn't tell you why this was working going from dark to light, but it is. I'm gonna use the Girl Talk palette. Here we go. I'm gonna use, okay, oh my God, this shade. BFF for, yeah. Is that right? Forever and Ever. Okay, it's that gorgeous sort of pinky purple. And see, I'm taking Raven's advice. I'm filling in that space. Mother would be proud if she knew my name. Now I'm gonna use the shade Jinx from this palette. It's this pearlescent white. That's going right on my brow bone. I mean, my fake brow bone, you know. That is so cute. I'm gonna dust off this excess powder. I want to try out these Trixie Cosmetics Stay the Night Shimmer Toppers. To cut my crease before we put the shimmer toppers on, I'm gonna use the House Labs High Power Pigment Paint. I'm gonna use that to cut my crease. Oh, you mother Bitch, this stuff is so light and creamy. It doesn't tear up anything underneath. Let's try these Trixie Cosmetics Stay the Night Shimmer Toppers. I kind of want to do an ombre using the shades Sleeping Cutie and Spoiled. Let's see how it looks on my hand. Oh, fucking get in my belly. So I'm going to use the lighter shade first. I know I'm contradicting myself with my eyeshadow, but this is the Shimmer Toppers. Oh my god, do y'all see that look? It's like, looks wet, but it's dry. Oh my god. I want to layer this, blend it out a little bit at the bottom. Oh, see, that's just nice, isn't it? That is cute. Oh my god. This is what it's like when I don't have 3-year-old makeup sat on this table. While that's setting, I'm gonna do some eyeshadow into my eyebrows. BFF Forever and Ever. I'm just gonna put that at the sort of beginning. I'm gonna use Roswell. Use that as the sort of intermediate colour here. And then for the tail, I'm gonna use Boy Band from the Girl Talk palette. I'm gonna take the Stay the Night Shimmer Topper, Spoiled. I'm gonna do it on the brow bone. And then I'm just gonna finger it out a little bit. Oh wow, Trixie Cosmetics. That eats ass. That f***ing cunnilingus my bumhole. I'm gonna fill in my liner using the NYX Epic Ink eyeliners. I swear by these. These are the best. A lot of people think these are too liquidy and watery, but I love it because you can sort of, I don't know, it makes it easier to be opaque. I don't know, it just fills the eyelid better. I swear I was so worried about coming on this channel and looking shit. I don't think it's happening today. All right. Home f***ing run, people. Let me use the NYX Jumbo Pencil to fill in my waterline. Any excuse to get filled and I will take it. Now I'm going to use the NYX Epic Wear White Eyeliner. This is the part where it all sort of starts coming together. I mean, I amaze myself. To help finish off my face, I'm going to use the NYX Highlight and Contour palette, and we're going to contour my face. We're going to give me some depth. I wish I had some depth of my personality apart from, you know, being Scottish and sounding like Fat Bastard from Austin Powers, but nope. I am feeling really good about this. The wonders a little bit of warmth does to your face. I'm glowing. I'm shining. Isn't that so crazy, the power of drag? The closer and closer you get to the finish line with the makeup, the more empowered you get. Okay, I'm gonna take a darker color and just put it in that sort of edge of the cheek. You know the song by RuPaul, Who Is She? Well, who is she? Gonna continue this on by contouring my Magnolia schnoz. I amaze myself. I'm gonna use the Summer of Love 3-pan blush palette by Trixie Cosmetics. I'm going to use Girl on Girl to begin with. We love a bit of lesbianism. I'm one of those people where I lightly put on blush and then 1 second later, I look like a neon highlighter has just crossed my face. Did I ever tell you about the time I in Michelle Visage's toilet? On episode 4 of my season, RuPaul's Drag Race UK, I was wearing this tight skin dress, right? And when you're, getting ready for the runway, you are in these costumes for a while. I don't know, I must have had a big lunch. I know, what a shock. But I really needed the toilet. And I said, okay, I can probably hold it for the critiques, all that stuff. See, I feel I'm opening up to you now. See, this is me sharing my inner, deepest, darkest, most hideous stories. He said, yep. And that was the episode Ginny Lemon walked off. She was running about backstage, whatever. They hadn't been able to find her yet. So they were like, listen, you cannot leave. I know you've just come off the stage. You cannot go to the toilet right now. We're trying to find Ginny. And so I went, huh. So I lifted this latex skirt up and I squatted by the air conditioning machine and I was ready to take a massive shit by that air conditioning machine and have that circulate through the air conditioning machines right up RuPaul's nostrils. Luckily, the Queen handlers saved the day. They grabbed me and they said, okay, we're going. Our toilets, the Queen's toilets, were outside, right? And I shouted, I'm not gonna make it! They took me to another bathroom, which I thought, it was a very fancy bathroom. I thought, this is RuPaul's bathroom. It wasn't. it was probably Michelle's. But I think that's an amazing claim to fame. I mean, that is going to be on my tombstone. That story should have made me blush. So in honor of that, I'm going to go back in with Side Chick. Be careful, Lawrence, don't f it up. Okay, that's really cute. A little bit in the temples. We'll put that there. To finish off the nose, I'm going to use the same white eyeliner I used for my under eye. And use that same white eyeliner to just draw a little dot on the end of my nose. So many people make fun of me because they say this looks like an acne spot or something. But listen, bitch, what's wrong with acne? Yeah, you look like a right bitch now. Derek Barry always comes up to me in Vegas and goes, oh, you've got something here. And tries to pop it. And then I pop her mascara. I'm using Rimmel London. Of course, I'm using a makeup product with the word Rim in it. Also, does anyone put mascara on in an attractive way? No one. Lips. I'm going to use the KVD Beauty liquid lipstick in the shade Mother. Then I'm going to use on the top a gloss, which is by Huda Beauty. It's the Demi Matte Gloss Passionista. I'm lucky, I guess, I can get away with these kind of glossy shades of lipstick because I don't overdraw my lips that much. So, f***ing fight me. Last few steps. Highlighter. I am using the Revolution blush palette, and I like using this kind of warm shimmery highlight here. Gonna take a bigger brush and use that same highlighter just on my cheeks. Bitch! I look wet. After looking at myself in the mirror, I kinda am wet. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all gotta admit, this is the cheek, the nerve, the audacity. No. So my last step, I'm gonna use my MAC Fix Plus Matte Setting Spray. Does anyone do that? Chase it. I'm gonna get changed, get into my outfit, wig, costume, jewelry, throw on some lashes, and I'll be back with the final look. Oh, and this is the final look. See, I told you, she's a goddess. I honestly feel so gorgeous. I feel so quintessentially me. Does that make sense? I put nails on for this shit. That is how much you all mean to me. I glossed up my arms. I'm not just fat and sweaty. I'm fat, sweaty with a wee bit of shimmer. I've got to say the star of the show today are these Stay the Night shimmer toppers. This metallic on my eyelid here, that is sickening. If you want to find me on social media, you can follow me on Instagram at Lawrence Chaney, on Twitter at Shady Lawrence, on TikTok at The Lawrence Chaney. I'm so happy I don't have the same handle on any social media platform. And if you're in the UK, you can catch me on tour next year for my brand new show, Memoirs from My Shag Pipes. And if you're not, and you're in America, come for a holiday to RuPaul's Drag Race Live at the Flamingo, Las Vegas. I will be there. All the other amazing talented queens will be there. And we just launched Lawrence Chaney merchandise on my website. Before I go, I have to give credit. This outfit is actually the dress I wore when I watched the finale of my season of RuPaul's Drag Race. So this is very sentimental to me. This hair was made by an amazing queen called Ivory Glaze. She was on Drag Race Down Under Series 3. And her partner is actually Scottish. So she did a little bit of tartan in the hair, see? There, look at my fucking head! Look at that! But she wove the hair together. Thank you so much everyone for watching. It has been so much fun being the guest host this week on Trixie Mattel's YouTube channel. What's coming next? You'll have to watch and find out. Not only do I look gorgeous, but I think due to how gorgeous I look, I kind of feel like I want to be a bit emotional. I gotta say, huge thank you to Trixie Mattel for letting me be the guest host this week. I'm like an international Rue girl. I was on a series of Drag Race that I didn't know if anyone would watch, and I'm just so grateful for every single opportunity I have. Boy, do I look fuckable. Thank you! And in true Trixie Mattel style, thank you, goodbye.